Hi, friends. As you can see, I started to wallpaper my background today. And I almost didn't record this video because I was like, okay, this looks so weird. It's half done. I jumped into it because I had this one roll of wallpaper in my closet, and obviously it was not enough. So I have more on order, but I figured I love you guys enough to let you into the imperfections and the messy, which is something I'm all about. So here we are with my half wallpapered wall. Next week, check in to make sure that I have completed the job. Hey, friends, it's Chelsea here of Postpartum Together, and I am on a mission to improve relationships, especially for expecting and new parents, because honestly, I feel like the world needs it. There's so much out of our control, so much chaos in the world, so many things that if we look at the big picture, we think, what do we do about this? And what I do know is that there is so much we can do in our own homes, and that starts with our relationship. The way we treat our relationship has a huge impact on what our family and our children experience. And that's the kind of energy that we take out into our communities, and that impacts society as a whole. So if we can have strong, connected relationships where we have partners who are able to communicate well, we have partners who know what they desire and need for connection, and we have individuals who are figuring out ways to build their confidence and feel really good about who they are. Hold on. About who they are as a parent and a partner, then we can make the world better incrementally, person by person, family by family. So that is why I'm here. That is why I do things like relationship road mapping with couples. This is why I work with expecting and new moms on finding and loving themselves again after having a baby. It's why this podcast and these videos are here, because it is the little corner of the world that I am committed to making a better place. And this podcast today is maybe a little bit more informal, but I had an experience last week and it made me think so much of why I believe in coaching and why I won't stop talking about the value of experiencing coaching, even though I can get really frustrated because I feel like coaching gets a bad rap, and for a good reason. There are a lot of shitty coaches out there. There are a lot of people who are making false claims. There are a lot of people out there who are practicing unethically. And it can be disheartening to be in an industry where you see that happening. Although the reality is, when I look around, when I think about literally any other job or profession, there are people who are playing nasty. There are people who are unethical. There are people who, if they were the representative for the industry, it would ruin it. And so when I get in that funk, I think, you know what? I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep coaching. I'm going to keep showing up for people because you deserve it. And I'm going to do it in the way that I know is right for me and for my clients as best that I can. I mess up too. I mess up often, and it's always my goal to own that and learn from that. I don't think it's about never messing up. I think it's about learning and integrating that learning and becoming the best version that you can. And that's what I'm committed to as a coach. And that's exactly what I want to help you do in your relationship. I am not asking anyone to be the perfect husband or the perfect wife, to be the perfect spouse, to be the perfect parent. Like, that is not the goal, because there is no standard of perfection, and there is no ability to do these things perfectly and still be human. And so we hold this delicately, knowing that in what we do professionally, what we do in our homes, how we connect with our kids and our partners, and how we talk to ourselves, even, it's not going to be perfect. It's going to get messy. But there are people who will sit and stay in that mess and stay in the mistakes or the challenges or the times they're not so proud of. And they will just choose to sit in their shit and feel like a victim or feel like there's no way to make things better. And then there are people who are on this committed journey to growing and learning and unlearning when that's what's needed, and finding their personal evolution and continuing to get better and better, to communicate more and more clearly with their partners, to be gentler with themselves, to be more and more mindful of the kind of connections that they need with other people, and that their partners and those who rely on them need from them. That's who I'm talking to, and that's who I'm showing up for, is that person who wants to continue to grow, because the ceiling can become your floor, right? We hear this about, I saw a meme recently, or a reel or whatever, that's like, our parents did the best they could and now their ceilings become our floors. And I think that that can be very true for us too. We create a ceiling and we grow and we grow and we grow and we reach it, and then that's our floor and we have a new ceiling and we keep growing. And I am a person of, my spiritual side is that we're here to keep growing and to keep evolving and to keep learning and to try to make the most out of the human race and humanity that we possibly can. So if that's you, thanks for cozying up with me. You're my people, you're my person. And I wanted to share an experience I had this weekend with you, just as a quick metaphor, honestly, to invite you into the space of recognizing, okay, things don't have to be total shit. Things don't have to hit the wall, or I don't have to be at rock bottom in order to get support and get help. So this last weekend, I had the awesome opportunity to go visit a friend of mine. I am located in Ohio. She is currently located out in Northern California, and I've never been there before. And so I took a long weekend to go spend some time with her, see her part of the country right now, catch up with her. She's a really dear friend. She challenges me and she sees me for who I am. And she really helps me to be in a place of personal introspection and growth. So, a really, really wonderful opportunity and weekend that I don't take lightly. But I flew in and then picked up a rental car. And from there, I think it was like a 2 hour drive. And I'm driving through beautiful Sonoma County. Like, I am obsessed right now with Sonoma County. I want to pack up all my things and move there. But anyways, as I'm driving through Sonoma County, I have been on the plane all day. I'm exhausted. You guys, I'm ready to get there. I'm ready to ease into my weekend and just be there and be done traveling. But I was hungry. Yes, this whole podcast episode is about me being hungry. I was so hungry. And I had this thought of like, no, I just want to get there. Put off the hunger, get to the destination, all hands on deck to just get there. No distractions, nothing. Um, and I realized like, oh, eek, like that's probably not a good method, because I'm gonna get there hangry AF. That is very real of me. I'm gonna be hangry. Our reuniting is not going to be as pleasant because of the way that I'm feeling. I'm going to just be so hungry that I'm not mindful of what I'm eating. And I'm probably going to have things that I don't actually even really enjoy. Um, and then that's like going to be the first thing I do. And that just didn't feel good to me. I had thought to myself that just getting there as fast as I could was what I needed to do, like to show love to my friend that I wanted to see her, and to show love to myself that I was just getting to the destination. And I realized that was not the goal. I was on a trip and I deserved to enjoy this part of the trip, these 2 hours, by not being starving, feeling more pleasant. And then I would enjoy the ride even more. I would enjoy the reuniting with my friend even more if I took 10 to 15 minutes to stop off and find some food for myself. I didn't deserve to not enjoy that time. And my friend didn't deserve for me to show up that way. She wasn't going to just celebrate that I got there so quickly. She wanted it to be a really sweet time of us coming together and enjoying reuniting and catching up over the months and maybe even a year that we had not been able to see each other. And I think that this is really true in our relationships. I'm going to draw a parallel here. Hopefully, you like this metaphor. If it's really dorky, you can tell me that too. But what I found um, was that oftentimes I talk to people and they have these frustrations, they have these yearnings. So I'll call it like the hunger in their relationship. They long for things to be better. They want to communicate better. They don't want to be fighting in front of their kids. They want to have meaningful connection where they really feel like a team. They want to feel like they are, united and growing together and that they're connected in the most important ways. They want to feel, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, sexually, physically fulfilled with their partner. If they don't want to slow down to take care of that hunger, they want to just keep powering on. Like, maybe when the kids are in school, we'll get to this. Or maybe when the kids leave the house, like everything will just be hunky dory and it'll be back to normal, or, whatever that timeline is. And what I find more and more recently, and I think that the pandemic has something to do with this in this like time frame, is I'm getting a lot of clients coming in who are 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 10 years after having a baby. And they're saying, we didn't take care of these things. We tried to push on and power through and not stop and not get support. And now we don't even know if there's enough pieces to put back together. That's not where we want to be. And that is not doing the good work or, being righteous. That's something that happens to many people. And I don't say that to like shame or bash anyone who finds themselves in that place. But I say that to say that maybe we need to normalize more pit stops, more feeding the hunger instead of just rushing through to try to get to some arbitrary goal. Maybe we should think about how we invest in our relationship before everything is so bad that we go to couples therapy as a last call. I love my therapist friends, but I have heard often that, people show up and they make this appointment for the first time when they're like, this is either going to make or break our marriage. Like, we're either going to decide that we can get through this or we're not. And it can feel like a very desperate time. And that can be so tender and also volatile. Um, and that is where, again, I could have pushed through, gotten to my friend's house, and then just ate whatever I could eat and kind of had a half-assed greeting and all of that, and been, well, I got there as soon as possible, or I pushed through to the destination, or I could stop and feed myself and take care of that hunger and get to know what I needed so that I could show up the best that I could in the future. That is nurturing your relationship. That is what I do with couples in relationship roadmap coaching. This is not for people who are like doing their last call. This is for people who are saying, this shit is hard. I did not expect these changes and these challenges that I'm experiencing and that I'm feeling. And I know how I want to show up for myself. I know how I want to show up for my family. I know how I want to show up for my partner, and I want it to be better. I want to show up better. I want to show up as a more clear communicator, which means getting to know my communication styles, getting to know our argument and communication patterns, getting to know kind of what I grew up seeing as normal and what I want to keep from that and what I want to change. This is wanting to connect more with your partner, wanting to feel united and feel like a team and not just passing ships in the night for years and years until you're empty nesters and then you're strangers. This is investing in your confidence, those habits, those mindsets, the learning and unlearning that allows you to be confident as a parent and as a partner. This is what we do because it's the maintenance. It's like stopping for food, or maybe even a better example is getting an oil change, right? You can run your car until it's on the side of the road and you have to get it towed, or you can get your oil changed and you can do maintenance in it, and it's still going to have problems in the future. Yes, it's getting older. It's a car. New challenges come up. Maybe it gets in an accident. But doing the maintenance means that you are preserving it as best as possible and knowing how to take care of it. And you're putting that time, that energy, that investment, that money into keeping it as best as you possibly can. And I can't help but think that our relationships deserve that too. So I hope that that story gives you this like, oh, you know what? Maybe it's 5 minutes for you this week. Maybe it's 10, 20, an hour. Maybe it is investing in coaching with me or another program or retreat that you found. But I hope that this gives you that reminder that like your relationship is a very precious part of your life and a very precious part of your family. And investing in that before things feel too desperate and out of hand is a major gift that you give to yourself. That is telling your partner, hey, I want to grow with you. I'm in this with you. Let's figure out the ways to do this together. If that is something that you know would be beneficial for you and your partner, I want to invite you to do relationship roadmap coaching with me. This is a 12-week coaching program. And the way that I do it is let's say we've got husband and wife. I meet with husband 1 week, wife the next week, and then both of them together every 3 weeks. We're working on the same topic. So I get to hear his perspective, his goals, his experience, her perspective, her goals, her experience. And then I take those notes and I put them together to lead a conversation between the two of them. So this might be, hey, here are the ways that you guys are actually wanting the same things, but maybe you're saying it in different ways or you're looking at it through different lenses. Let's get on the same page here. Or maybe it's, hey, you guys have very different processing styles when it comes to making a decision and communicating. Let's put in some skills so that you can do that more respectfully while still honoring who you are. Those are just a couple examples of ways that we integrate this work, but it's a really fun model where each person gets their own space. They get to have their own say. They're not worried about what their partner is saying and just reacting to it. I'm a third party. I'm totally neutral. I'm just here to collect the data, collect the information, the things that you're saying and sharing, and make sense of it and put it together so that we can have a really, really purposeful, intentional, guided conversation that is solution oriented, that gives you accountability. It gives you new ideas. And these ideas aren't just from my own marriage, they're from the number of couples that I've worked with up until this point. So you have kind of this whole arsenal of things that have worked for other people that I can introduce you to, I can teach you, I can walk you through. I just felt like it can feel so taboo to talk about our relationships and to talk about needing or wanting any support. And I want to break down that wall. I think that it should be very normal for absolutely everyone to go through relationship road mapping in some point of the big transition. So maybe it's right before you're going to get married. I would love to support more people in premarital, getting on the same page and understanding these things. Maybe it's as you're expecting a baby and you're preparing to do this together. Or maybe it's after you've had a baby and so many things have changed and you're really working to get back on the same page, back on the same road, and know how to work together. No matter where you are in that journey, I am confident that I can help you do that and help you to have the tools and the confidence and just the language and the ways to talk to one another in order to be on the same team. I'm Chelsea Skaggs. I'm the founder of Postpartum Together. And, I'm here because I remember. I remember being on my kitchen floor in the corner, wondering if there was any way in hell that my partner and I were going to be able to make it through because motherhood and parenthood shook us. It surprised us in many ways. And preparing the nursery and laying out the baby clothes did not touch the big identity and relationship and connection changes that we went through. And so I've been there. And that's why I commit my time, my energy, my resources into learning how to teach people strong communication, purposeful connection with one another, and how to build your confidence. If that sounds like you, it's time to reach out. You can contact me on social media. You can email me, Chelsea at postpartumtogether.com. You can leave a comment here. I cannot wait to see what's possible for you and for your relationship and to see who's going to step into that space and invest in the growth of their relationship. Okay, until next time, in case no one's told you, this shit is hard and you're probably doing a great job. Give yourself some grace and don't compare yourself to strangers on the internet. That's just depressing.